Yo, what is up guys, Anthony here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create this high converting image ad that you see on screen in Canva in 2025 with very little upfront work. It only takes a couple of minutes, but there are thousands of brands, especially the biggest brands in D2C, that are scaling their accounts off the back of these very simple images. And images are some of the most slept on creatives. And while everyone is focusing on video, there's a lot of opportunity that you're missing by not running very basic but powerful and high converting images like the one you see on screen right now. So make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to walk through exactly how I would recreate this ad for another brand using Canva in literally less than 10 minutes. And then I'm also going to walk through how you can get access to this exact template that I'm creating this image from. Now, before we dive in, my name is Anthony Camacho. Over the last 6 years, I've generated over $100 million in advertising revenue for Shopify brands, helping brands jump from 6 to 7 figures a month and even from 7 to multiple 7 figures per month. And I make videos like these with the sole goal of providing you with as much value as possible so you can take your brand to the next level. Now, if you are a Shopify brand that's doing $100,000 a month and you want to scale to $1 million, check out the first link in the description. If you are a complete beginner and you want to start and scale your first dropshipping brand to $1,000 a day, then check out the second link. Otherwise, let's not waste any time and let's dive straight into the video. Now, when it comes to image ad creatives, because there's not a lot of visual complexity to what's being shown on screen, it is highly important that you actually nail the messaging. So there's a lot bigger of a margin for error when it comes to messaging when you're doing videos because you can hide behind product demonstrations. If you have really good content, you can hide behind really wacky visuals. But with an image, what you see is what you get. So if what the audience is seeing is not what is going to convince them to buy, then that image is going to fall flat. And most of the time, when I see images not working well, it has nothing to do with design and it has everything to do with messaging. So obviously, AG1 knows their audience extremely well. They know that they want to fuel their body. Even that terminology of fueling your body, that's probably the type of jargon and keywords that someone in that audience would actually use. They know that that type of audience is interested in whole foods, things that are not processed, so they use that keyword there. And then they know this audience is probably a little bit cost conscious, if you will. And so they have this thing here where it says for only $2.90 per serving. But outside of that, like you only have like 3 bullet points here, a picture of the bottle, and then a logo in the top right. So again, it's not a crazy complex process to create these images, but you have to nail the messaging. So it's not enough to just simply create an image ad and then slap up a headline and then hope it works. You actually have to understand your audience's level of awareness. And this is a concept that was been popularized by a guy called Eugene Schwartz, who's the author of Breakthrough Advertising, which is pretty much the granddaddy of advertising. If you are in direct response, you know that book and you know the principles in that book. And he brought to light this idea and this principle of market levels of awareness. And essentially, you could think of this as your total addressable market, meaning everyone who is in the market that could potentially be a buyer of your product exists on a spectrum of awareness that starts from completely unaware, they have no idea what problems your product solves or even that your product exists, all the way to most aware, where they know everything about your product and that the fact you sell it, they know all the problems that it solves, and they know that they actually need the product. So when you have these levels of awareness in your mind, you can really start to create images that are intentional. And what I see is a lot of ad accounts are highly over-indexed into unaware and problem-aware audiences, meaning they're creating a bunch of UGC ads. They're driving a ton of awareness. If you think about any traditional UGC creative, you're going to have a problem call out in the hook, or you're going to have some type of story like a 3 reasons why. And those creatives are great at taking completely unaware people or people who are aware about their problems but don't yet know about any solutions and moving them down the funnel. But the area where most ad accounts are lacking is actually in the product aware and most aware levels of awareness. And the further you go down this continuum, the smaller the audience, but the easier to sell to. And conversely, the higher you go up the continuum, the larger the audience and the more difficult it is to sell to. So you can think of there is a ton more people who are unaware about your brand, your problems that you solve, and your product as a solution. And those people are increasingly difficult to sell to. But people who are most aware know already about your brand. They know your product. They know it's a solution to a problem that they have. But that's also the smallest audience, but they're also the easiest to sell to. So I want you to think of most aware as basically people who are going into Google and searching up collagen masks. They know they want the product. They know it does something that they need help with or that can help them solve a particular problem that they have. and they go into Google and they shop and they buy. And they're typically going after the lowest price. But a lot of people fail to realize that you can actually use ads in your Facebook ad account to turn it into sort of a quasi Google shopping feed, in the sense that the creative that you make, if it is for a most aware or a product aware audience, is going to resonate with people who are ready to buy, just like in a Google shopping feed, which is why with Google Shopping, you realistically only need a picture and a title and a price. And if you have those three things, you can pretty much slap up any image ad that you want, because the traffic is inbound. That traffic is already product aware or most aware. They know they want the product, and so they just need a reminder to get them back to the website and buy. And you can actually do this with your Facebook ad account as well. If you create ads that are for a product aware or a most aware audience, then that's the type of audience that you're going to resonate with. Now, you might have limited visibility, you might have higher CPMs. Typically, these promotional style creatives or product aware and most aware creatives don't have a ton of reach, and you need a healthy mix of problem aware and unaware creatives to be able to drive awareness and educate your consumers about the product. But so many accounts are missing that final closing ad. They spend so much money generating awareness, educating about the problem, and then they don't have enough creatives to actually close the deal. And as you can see, with a most aware audience, this person is completely ready to buy. They know that your product does something that they need. They want to buy. And the key message that you have to focus on is providing them with a really good offer. At that point, they already know about your product. They want your product. They just need something that's going to bring them over the edge to get them to buy. And this is why having a really strong acquisition offer is so key, because a lot of you guys, if you're a brand, you're probably spending a lot of money here. You're driving all this education and awareness. And because you don't have a lot of creative going after product aware and most aware audiences, what happens is you spend all this money educating all of these audiences and you don't have that creative. So then they get scooped up by a competitor, or they go into Google Shopping and they seek out the opportunity to buy the product themselves. When in reality, if you structure your ad account properly and if you create awareness ads for most aware and product aware, then you're going to be able to close that deal. So it starts with actually creating those offer statics, which I'm going to show you in this video. And again, the main key message here is focusing on this is the best deal. You've already educated your audience about the product. They know about the product. Now it's time to actually close the deal. So let's go ahead and show you how to create those creatives inside of Canva. Okay, so I'm back inside of Canva, and as you can see, the actual physical or the sort of technicalities of the creative itself are not very complex. You have a picture of the product, you've got your headline, you've got your logo in the top right, and then you've got some benefit-driven bullet points. You honestly don't even need these to create ads for a most aware audience. Okay, so I've basically just put up, and by the way, I'm making this particular most aware ad for a product that is called the collagen masks. So this is a very, very high res studio shot of a model putting on the collagen mask. You can use UGC. I'll show you a couple of other examples how you can make this a little bit more native, but let's just start with putting her on the left. And as you can see, it's not crazy complex, and it already is looking like somewhat similar to the AG1 example. So now that we have our image on the left, we're going to use this right side for textual elements, and we're basically going to announce the sale that we're running. Okay, so because it's the New Year's, I'm going to go ahead and do a New Year's sale. You don't even need to run a New Year's sale or put some type of promotional announcement in the creative. If you have one, go ahead and do it. But if you're running an evergreen acquisition offer, you can just start with that. But because I want to position this as a New Year's sale, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and now I'm added my acquisition offer details, which is basically a very simple buy two, get one free. So I used a font called ITC Avant-Garde. I think it looks the best, and I believe that's Obvi's main font on their website, which is obviously they're a massive company, so I want to replicate as much as what they do as possible. And as you can see, I've kind of played around with the coloring here. I just made this one the same color as the New Year's sale, and then that way I can make the free portions really stand out. And as you can see, we're pretty far into almost being done with this. It's literally been 30 seconds since I started recording. So let's go ahead and add another element. All right, and because this is a really strong acquisition offer and I have tons of videos on how to create acquisition offers, you guys know I don't stop at a simple buy two, get one free. We go above and beyond. We create no-brainer offers here on this channel. So we're doing buy two, get one free and 4 free gifts. Who is going to compete with that? Even if we weren't doing a New Year's sale, anyone in my niche or in my industry competing with me is not going to be able to with this strong of an offer. Or why else would you pick any other offer when you could get a buy two, get one free and 4 free gifts? All right, and then the last step is to add a simple call to action. Now, honestly, this is optional. You don't have to do a call to action. I just thought it tied in the creative really nicely. All I've done here is created a box inside of Canva. I gave it a pink inner and then a black border, and then added in the shop now text. And as you can see, in literally less than 30 seconds, I have created an ad for a most aware audience with the key message of giving them the best deal. So now in my ad account, I have all these problem aware ads. I have all these solution aware ads. I have all these ads that are demonstrating the problem, demonstrating the product, showing people getting this amazing transformation. And I'm taking all of that audience, and instead of allowing them to get closed by a Google Shopping ad or another ad from my competitor who has way higher budget than me and can spend way more than me to acquire a customer, I'm going to put this ad into my ad account, which is going to give Meta the tools necessary to actually close those people who are bottom of funnel and ready to convert. You can see how targeting most aware almost turns it into like a quasi Google Shopping, in the sense that we're going after traffic that is already ready to convert. And more importantly, we're going after traffic that we're spending a lot of budget on warming up and educating ourselves. Now, if you really want to take this to the next level, you can easily do a split type video. So here we have a split UGC image, but all I've done is simply replace this with a video on the left. And this is a great way to make the creative look a lot more native, especially if you have a product that has a clear demonstration, or where the demonstration and the visual transformation has a certain amount of wow factor. I would definitely recommend you do a split video instead of a split image. And I'll go ahead and show you what this looks like really quick. All right, so let's play this. Okay, not gonna play the music just because it's copyright, but as you can see, she's demonstrating the product. Boom. This is a product where the transformation is the part that's going viral and people that really want, or that people really want. And as you can see, way more dynamic, way more visually captivating, has so much more wow factor compared to a static, but either of the two work, especially if you're selling clothing or something that doesn't really have that natural transformation or that visual transformation, similar to like an AG1, for example. Then you can get away with just a very simple product shot. But if you have a product that has a clear visual transformation, that has a wow factor to its visual, that you know if someone sees is going to entice them to buy, then go ahead and include that in a split type. And all you need to do is add on this most aware text. Very simple, very easy to execute. And as you can see, it literally took me like 2 minutes to create that. So that is going to do it for this video, guys. Hope you got a ton of value out of this one. Now, if you want to get access to the template that I just created for these most aware creatives, then make sure you check out the link in the description. I'll put a link to the Canva file so you can literally just click in, grab the files, and then duplicate this out and start making some creatives for yourselves. Either way, I hope I was able to demonstrate the value of creating these types of creatives and why you really need to put a greater emphasis on image ads, especially if you're a brand that is predominantly doing video. Some of the biggest brands in the world, AG1, Huel, Avi, these 8 and 9 figure companies, if you go into their ad library, they're scaling aggressively and they have thousands of active ads, many of which are very simple images with really dialed in messaging, just like the one that you see here. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you're probably over indexed into a lot of UGC, and you're actually missing out on some conversions by not creating the types of creatives that are going to convert all of that traffic that you're warming up at the most aware audience level, because people just really don't talk about it this much. Most of the people are teaching you how to make more UGC ads, myself included, but most accounts are missing creatives like these. And I highly recommend, if you don't have any image ads in your account, start with the most aware awareness level, because it's the easiest to convert. It is the smallest audience, but it is the easiest way to get images in your account working, because it is targeted towards that audience that is ready to convert. So thank you guys for watching. If you got a ton of value out of this, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Again, if you're new to the channel, my name is Anthony. I've generated over $100 million in advertising revenue for Shopify brands, and I've also scaled my old brand to 7 figures. If you're a Shopify brand that's doing $100,000 a month and you want to scale to $1 million a month, check out the first link. If you're a complete beginner and you want to start and scale your first e-commerce brand to $1,000 a day, then check out the second link in the description to join my private course and community. Otherwise, hope you got a ton of value out of this one, and I will catch you in the next one, wherever you are in the world. Have an amazing rest of your day. Take care.